Hopefully you guys can stick around until the end because we will be sharing a voucher code to you then, and you can use that code for some savings once you decide to enroll and become a ninja here at Coding Dojo. We actually call each other ninjas. We call our students ninjas, and as you get to know more about us, you'll learn a lot of things as to why we have that ninja culture here in our online boot camp. Um, if you guys wanted to introduce yourselves in the chat, feel free to do that. Make friends there, socialize there. More people are coming in just now. Welcome in. Let's jump into the next slide. I wanted to walk you through a bit about what we have prepared today. So we know that some of you are trying to figure out maybe how you can break into tech. Maybe you know someone who went into a boot camp and now working in tech, or maybe some of you are just trying to change career path, figuring out how you can become a software developer. So I'm sure it's a variety of reasons for you guys. And this event will help you get an idea on how we help our students in here in this boot camp. We'll be talking about Coding Dojo, what the student experience is like, how we built the curriculum. So Tyler will walk you through about the three different options, which is the full-time and the two part-time options that we have here. And then after that, Tiara will walk you through about our career services. She's going to share some tips for you guys, so stick around for that. And then after that, I'll walk you through about our admissions of financing options, some scholarship options. And then after all that, we have Q&A. So this is a safe space. We encourage you to ask anything, and we're more than happy to answer any questions you might have about, tech or our boot camp here, or maybe on this career path that you're considering. So yeah, let's kick this off. Just a couple of reminders for you all. So in the next slide, wanted to remind you, so there is a Q&A box on your screen. So if you have any questions, please park them in the Q&A box. We can answer them live, or some of it we may cover during the Q&A session later on. And then I'm so happy seeing some chats already here. So keep them coming. You've got two options there. So some of you are sending it privately, so it's the host and panelists who can see it. So it's just us Dojo staff, or you can send it to everyone, so all of the attendees can see you and meet you there. We've got just randomly calling names here. We've got Nick. We've got Manassi. I like that name. Ton, Rodno, Jennifer. All right. So let's kick this off. We've got a short video for you guys before we share a couple of things as well.
Our mission in Coding Dojo is about redefining what's possible in our students' lives. If you are interested in getting into tech, we are 100% behind you to help you get there. Coding Dojo is an education technology company. We train people in the area of cybersecurity, web development, data science, and take them from zero background to become job ready.
Coding Dojo's been doing this a long time, and we really mastered the way we teach. You learn the soft skills and also the technical skills that you need to get a job in the industry.
You don't have to be good at computers. You don't have to be a great mathematician.
The majority of students who come to Coding Dojo don't have a computer science degree. They come from sales, marketing, medicine, restaurants. Students come from such diverse backgrounds.
You mentioned you hadn't written a single line of code going into Dojo, is that correct?
Yes, and now I am a technical project manager at Zoom. This was exactly what I wanted to do before I joined the program.
Coding Dojo is really unique in its learning science. You're going to get in and you're going to practice the things that you're actually going to do on the job in the school, which means that you get to tinker, you get to play, you get to figure things out without being on the job itself.
The environment at Coding Dojo replicates the real world by doing things like group activities, pair programming, and code reviews.
One of the major benefits is the fact that you are learning with a cohort of other students. You spend a lot of time together trying to learn, figuring out problems, etc. And that support network of your fellow students is critical.
There's so many people around you that have such a common goal, and that connection, the network that you build is going to last you your lifetime.
Really invest in yourself. Show up. Be excited. Be passionate, because you're never going to have another experience like this.
For us, We are not seeing you as who you are right now, but we are seeing you as the possibility of who you can become. You can transform your life and your career within weeks, not years.
Awesome. All right. There you go. So we can start this off officially. So there were some comments that came in. Right now, by default, we cannot see you or we cannot hear you. So we encourage you guys to just chat there with us. We're curious about what you wanted to chat to us there, so we'll keep an eye on that. I wanted to also share with you a couple of things about Coding Dojo. So we're a global education technology company, and we started in 2012. As of 2022, we have become part of Colorado Technical University. So that is actually a great thing because for our students in here taking full-time and part-time accelerated courses, they can use them as their stepping stones to earning a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology degree program at CTU. If you want to learn more about that and what are the requirements for it, you can simply reach out to our admissions. We've got 3 different programs in here. One of them is software development program, and there are different formats for it, but it starts at 16 plus weeks. All of our programs in here are beginner friendly and 100% remote. We have now more than 13,000 global alumni. So whichever program you go for, you'll be part of that network for certain events or just for learning opportunity, for networking. So you're going to be surrounded of that, community, that like-minded people to help you navigate your career in tech or in non-tech industry. Yeah, that's us in a nutshell. We'd love to also get to know you guys a little bit more. I mean, we're unable to pass the mic, but I think through this question in the next slide, we'd be able to get to know you guys a little bit more. It's also good for you because you can take a pause and just reflect, what are you looking for in a boot camp? And you can share that to us if you're comfortable in the chat. Usually we get attendees sharing to us that what they're looking for in a boot camp is giving them feedback on the technical portfolio that they're coding, or helping them really maximize opportunities on a particular industry that they want to break into as an engineer, software engineer. So different kinds of answer usually that we get on this one. Let's see, Liz was sharing Python certification and software development. Awesome. Keep your answers coming in the chat. We're curious about it. But I have a fun fact for you guys, because usually we get some sharing as well that, they're really needing an instructor or a TA to really guide them and mentor them. So I wanted to just share with you that here at Coding Dojo, our instructors and TAs have either taken the boot camp, so they were once like you. Some of them have worked as a software developer or still working as a software developer. Some of them have certain educational background related to the program, so like computer science. So that means once you became a ninja or a student here, you will be exposed to different kinds of TAs and instructors as well to guide you in your boot camp experience, which is definitely going to come in handy. Looking for new career paths, always enjoyed computer programming and would like to get more education and experience on it. Awesome. Thanks, Brooke, for sharing that. All right, keep them coming. We'll jump into the next slide for now because I wanted to share with you guys one of our ninjas here. So before doing our software development program, Raiden was actually working in sales and digital marketing, graduated, and then now he's working as a full stack developer. And one of the comments that I really love that he shared with us was this helped him become resourceful and a sufficient developer. And as we go through the presentation, you'll know a thing or two as to how we're helping you become self-sufficient or well-rounded developer in here. Moving on to the other slide, another ninja here, his name is Mark. No background in software development before doing our boot camp because he was working as pricing associate before. But after graduating in our boot camp, he was able to get a job, and now he's working as a software developer. We've got more success stories in LinkedIn, or if you also go to our website that you can check. But for now, those are the only two that we can share with you because of the time. I'll pass the mic to Tyler so he can walk you through, guys, about how we teach things, what kind of support you're gonna get from our instructors and all that. So yeah, Tyler, take it away.
Cool. Thank you. So I'm Tyler Tebow. I'm one of the instructors here at Coding Dojo, and I've been working with Coding Dojo since like late 2020. I actually started working with Coding Dojo right after I participated through Coding Dojo. So I've been through this program, and I know the struggles and the benefit that comes from it. Prior to Coding Dojo, I was actually a classroom teacher. And so I made that transition over to a web developer, and it was fantastic. So first off, I want to congratulate all of you guys for being here, for taking the first steps into becoming a software developer. This is the inquiry stage, and it is super important, and so we're glad that you are here. All right, so what does it mean to be a full stack developer? Because you're going to see this this term full stack being used a lot. So I want to paint a little bit of a mental picture for you guys. First, I want you to think of like that poster that we all hung up on the wall as we were growing up. It looks good, but the content on that poster is pretty static. This is the equivalent of just your standard website, just a static content website. But a full stack application is going to take that static website and turn it into more of like the interactive kiosks that you see at the mall or whatever, right? You can click on stores and you can go in there and see what they have available. So that's kind of what this full stack means. We're taking the static and making it dynamic. This comes in 3 different parts. We have our front end. That's the visuals. Hold on. Okay, that's the visuals. That's what you see. That's what you interact with. Then we have the back end. That's going to be your server. This is going to be where all the logic is taking place. Like when you log into an application, how do they know you are you? That kind of logic will happen on the back end. And then the last component is the database. This is going to store all of the information. This is going to have persistence between different sessions. And it's really going to add a lot of dynamics to our application. So you might have used some full stack applications out there. There's a couple small programs like Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are all full stack applications. You can get on there, you can interact with it, you can create posts, you can delete posts. That's what we are creating here at Coding Dojo. Cool. I was going to say next slide, but I'm controlling the slide, so this is good. In the full-time curriculum here at Coding Dojo, we are going to take you from programming basics with 1 week in that, all the way to learning a full stack language and technology suite, not once, not twice, but 3 different times. So if that seems like a lot, and if you seem like, oh, how do I do that? It's okay. We walk you through this process, right? Starting off with programming basics, where we teach you all the basics of how to use this amazing device in front of you, known as the computer, in a way that software developers use it, right? Zipping and unzipping files, using that terminal that is super scary. All of that gets taught to you in programming basics. Then we move over to web fundamentals. This is going to be the fundamentals of the web. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are going to be taught in here. And this is 3 weeks long. We'll also teach some, potentially some more other ideas like wireframing or box model or those kind of things here in the web fundamentals. From there, we will move over to the Python stack. The Python stack is your first introduction to that full stack technology suite. We'll be utilizing Python with Flask, and our database will be MySQL. We'll teach you things like MVC framework, and really bake in a lot of the fundamentals of just how a programmer thinks. After that, you'll spend 4 weeks in a JavaScript stack. Here we're running the MERN stack currently. So we utilize React, which is a big hitter in today's market. So that is fantastic. We also utilize MongoDB for our database, and it is absolutely amazing. After that, you'll have an option. You can either go C# or you can go to Java. Both are fantastic technology suites and languages, where you will learn more of like a strictly typed language. And by the end, you'll be like blown away with how much content you have learned in the short time that we've learned it. Cool. So the daily schedule of what a full-time development or full-time program Ninja does is we wake up and we do algorithms in the morning. That starts at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. All of our time for the full-time program is done in Mountain Time. So algorithms at 9. This is where the instructor will give a problem and explain the problem. And then you'll break away into smaller groups where you can work on it in these small 3 to 4 people group. And then you'll come back and you'll walk through the program or through the algo as a class. After that, there will probably be a small little break where you'll introduce you'll get your first session, your morning session, where the instructor will cover some high-level concepts of what you'll be learning today and then dive deeper into those concepts. This generally runs about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour. And then it's a bunch of class work with your other cohort mates in small groups and that kind of stuff. So that's fantastic. Around noon is about lunchtime, again, Mountain Time. And then we come back for some more interactive code lab work where you are pair programming, you're sharing your screen and running through all of that. And then we might have an afternoon lecture around 2 o'clock to cover any things that we didn't get to in our morning lecture. At the end of the day, so 5 p.m. Mountain Time comes around, we know that the work is not done. We're expecting you guys to continue working because there is just that much content to get through. So from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., you'll be reading the next day's materials. You'll be working still to solidify some of these concepts, potentially chatting with cohort mates and progressing that way. One of the things that the full-time platform offers you is the fantastic learning platform. I cannot speak enough about this learning platform. It is an absolute one-of-a-kind, amazing tool that we offer our students here. It is truly the North Star that keeps us all going in the right direction. The learning platform offers things like quizzes, assignments, code snippets, videos, tutorials, step-by-step instructions, and a lot more is packed into this one centralized location. Best of all, it's 24/7. So when you're staying up late trying to get through this material, you can reference the Learn platform and it will give you all of the main content that you need to learn. There's also the alumni pass for afterwards, which we will touch on that at a later time. Sorry about that. All right, the commitment as far as time goes. Full-time program here at Coding Dojo is a lot. We are expecting 70 to 90 hours. There's about 40 hours a week in class working with your cohort mates. And then there's anywhere from 30 to 50 hours a week that you're studying either on your own or perhaps you have some other communication with cohort mates to work outside of class time. But it truly does take a good 70 hours a week devoted to the full-time program to be successful. So it's a lot, and we get it. We get it's a lot, which is why we came up with part-time. Part-time is like not everybody has the luxury of having just a bunch of time on the hands where they can devote to something like Coding Dojo's full-time program. You might need to be the one that's keeping the lights on. You might be the primary caretaker. We understand that there's a lot of different facets of life that need your attention. And so part-time offers two different programs. We have the accelerated program and the flex program. The accelerated program is about 18 plus weeks and requires about 30 hours a week. So this is more than half of the required amount of time that the full-time program offers. Here you will still learn programming basics, Python, JavaScript, and Java. It just extends the amount of time that we take to cover each of these. But if that's still too much of a commitment, we have our flex program, which is even more flexible with 30 weeks and about 15 hours a week, 15-hour a week time commitment. Here you will take the programming basics, web fundamentals, projects and algos, but you will only be doing the Python stack. In our accelerated program, this is kind of the layout that we have. So 2 weeks of programming basics. So we've increased that from 1 week to 2 weeks, just to really familiarize yourself with the computer. Then from 3 weeks to 4 weeks for web fundamentals, to really allow that to kind of solidify. And then each stack you do has gone from 4 weeks to an 8-week amount of time. So still Python, JavaScript, and Java, but each one is doubled in the amount of time offered. After that, you have 4 weeks of projects and algos that you'll be working with. Cool. Did I miss one? Yeah, sorry, I missed one. The flex curriculum here is slightly different. We have our 2-week programming basics, that's the same. And then we dive into 8 weeks for web fundamentals. Remember, that's HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. And then we have 16 weeks for Python, really giving the most flexibility for your life to still happen, but solidifying these fundamental knowledge. And then we will end the flex curriculum with projects and algos being 4 weeks in length. Cool. The flex part-time, or the part-time flex versus the part-time accelerated, here is just a quick overview of the time commitment offered. So flex, you will meet for an hour lecture on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is 5 p.m. PST, not Mountain Time. Mountain Time is for the full-time program. PST is for our part-time program, so 5 o'clock PST. And then the accelerated program meets for an hour on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So just another day in that accelerated program. You'll have things like the code reviews where instructors and TAs will meet with you and analyze your code and talk about best practices and all of that. There's the self-study, but super cool. We have that TA support Sunday through Saturday. So that is a full 7 days a week where you have some kind of personal, you can talk to them, support available to you. Super fantastic. In the part-time program, you will still have access to the learning platform. It is the same learning platform that we have in the full-time program. So there will be things like quizzes and assignments and tutorials and videos and all that is packed into it. It's still our North Star, and you still have 24/7 access to it. So pretty cool. Again, cannot talk enough about that Learn platform. All right, that covers both the full-time program and the part-time program. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will turn it over to Career Services.
Thank you, Tyler. Hey, everyone. Again, my name is Tiara, and I am none other than the fairy godmother of career services. So I'm here to show you about some of the magic that we do here. Next slide, please. So the first thing you need to know about our program, what sets us apart from a lot of the other boot camps out there, is we have lifetime of career services. What does that mean, Tiara? Good question, my imaginary student. That means that as long as you graduate from our program, you could leave, find a job, and then maybe you get there 6 months and say, hey, I don't like this, or maybe you just want to do something different. You can always come back and utilize our services as long as you graduate from the program. No matter if it's 5 years later, 6 months later, it's always here to support you. So let's kind of talk about what happens your first day and throughout the program here. So the first day, you can expect to get an email letting you know who your career services manager is. We'll kind of navigate and tell you what assignments that you'll need to do and things like that. And then throughout your time at boot camp, we'll work on optimizing your resume, building your brand through a narrative assignment that we'll do that highlights your strengths and your weaknesses and things like that. I wouldn't say it highlights your weaknesses, but it helps you navigate those. We'll also help you with your online profile presence through helping you with your GitHub and your LinkedIn. And then at graduation, we'll help you with those technical skill tests, interview prep, and job searching. Next slide, please. And then finally, like I told you when I first started, it's your first job and beyond. We're here to help you through salary negotiation strategies. You have unlimited support, and we have a very strong LinkedIn Dojo alumni community that can help you as you navigate this new employment space upon graduation. Next slide, please. So let's kind of dig into what can you expect throughout the program and how does that show up as you matriculate through the boot camp. So these next few slides will talk about developing your own personal brand and narrative. And that's just through doing some LinkedIn improvements and some different things like that. We'll talk a little bit about job prospecting and application guidance. How do we do industry exploration and things like that? We'll talk about interviewing prep, and then we'll talk a little bit about life after the dojo. Next slide, please. But before, we got a pop quiz. Everyone loves a pop quiz. So, what is ATS? Does anyone know what ATS stands for? Okay, we got some yeses, some no's. Okay. Thank you for your participation. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. We got some smarty patents on the line, so we do have some 2 yeses. Okay, so ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. So that's 82% of you didn't know what that was. So applicant tracking systems are the technology that's put in place that allows the system to like parse your resume for these keywords. And from there, recruiters will then start to navigate your resume after it's been electronically selected out of there, right? So this next slide shows you all the magic we do here, right? Look at Jane Doe on the left side. She came in, got a bunch of white space on her resume. Can't really see what kind of stands out, but she's there. She came to the right. She did her work in boot camp. She worked with her career services manager, and boom, now look at Jane Doe on the right. Technical skills are highlighted at the top. We got some projects highlighted on there. Their professional experience is there. Education, as well as some leadership and key achievements. Also, got a LinkedIn, a GitHub. Jane Doe is ready to go, okay? So those are the type of things you can expect as you work with your CSM, okay? Next slide, please. So, as a part of your package here with career services, we do help you with that interviewing aspect, okay? So that behavioral interview, we help you with the interview workshop that we host on the CSM team right before you graduate. We also do some individualized personal narrative prep. Again, like I told you, you'll do an exercise where you'll highlight your strengths, and then we'll talk through your weaknesses, and we'll learn to craft your elevator pitch throughout that. And then we'll do some mock behavioral interviews with your career services manager. That's where they ask you name a time or place when you had to deal with a difficult customer. So we kind of help you navigate that space. And then for that technical interview prep, you can expect to get some in-program algo training and some personalized training and tech interview soft skills with your CSM, and some mock technical interviews with professionals in the field to help you get prepared and know how to navigate that situation once you get out and start interviewing. Next slide, please. Also, what I absolutely love is our alumni pass. So software development students can access their course materials for 6 months following graduation at no additional cost. After 6 months, you can purchase that alumni pass for continued access, and you can do that for $49.99 a month or $4.99 a year. And guess what? The alumni pass gives you access to not only the stacks that you take here, but also to some additional stacks like C#, .NET, iOS, Android, LAMP, Ruby on Rails, and some web fundamentals. And then software development alumni also gets access to data science and cybersecurity. This is really a good hack right here, because let's say you come in, I've had some students come in, they may take one stack, take Python, get the alumni pass, and now you have access to all those other stacks. And if you can learn one stack, you can learn a lot of other ones and take those transferable skills and learn those other stacks. So it's a really good hack, and my students, they really love it. Next slide, please. All right, now that happened really quick. I felt like that was like the quickest ever, but Mickey's gonna come back. She's gonna talk to you about admissions, and I'll look for you in a Q&A if you have any questions about career services.
Alrighty, thanks, Tiara. Thanks, Tyler. So yeah, I am seeing a lot of hard questions there. Again, we will answer them, or some of my colleagues might answer that right now. But we've got Q&A, so just as a reminder, just keep your questions coming, and we'll cover some of them later on. But for now, let's dive into the admissions in here. Again, I wanted to have like just a quick walkthrough. There are 3 different options, right? And you're gonna see that in the next slide. Whichever option you decide to take, there is a lifetime career services for you, as Tiara mentioned. There will be TAs and instructors that you can also tap during the boot camp if you feel stuck, or if you need something to be simplified for you, or if you wanted to have a bit of collaborations. You've got your cohort mates. There are open labs, some activities set in place. It's not just going to be the live lectures. So it's that structure, that system in place to help you really speed up your learning journey in here. So it's really the matter of asking yourself, how much time are you able to put in? Which stack you wanted to prioritize. If you're ready to take that bold bet on yourself and you wanted to do this for having that full stack under your belt, there is the full-time option, and that's going to be 70 hours per week commitment. But the good thing about this is it's shorter timeline, because you're graduating within 16 weeks. You get to learn the programming basics, web fundamentals, and all those stacks that you're seeing there. So that's full stack, and the investment for it is $16,995. We do have other students here wherein they have jobs, or they've got so many things on their plate, so they can only take the part-time route. There are 2 types of part-time options in here. So it's either the accelerated or the flex. So what I love about the accelerated is you can actually get 1 stack initially. And then if you wanted to, add 1 or 2 more to make it full stack, then you have that freedom to do so. So that's why you're seeing here, it's about 18 to 34 weeks long. If you take the 1 stack option, that is $9,995. The 2 stack option is $13,495, and the 3 stack is same cost as the full time. Last but not the least, the part-time flex. This is where you get to learn programming basics, web fundamentals, and of course, this is algorithm heavy as well. And your stack for this is Python. The investment for this is $9,995, and the timeline is you're looking at 30 weeks long, because you're only putting in about 10 to 15 hours per week for that. Regardless of which path you're going to take here, you also get to build whatever technical portfolio. Some of you might already know what they wanted to make. Some of you may not know yet what they they wanted to make, some have some passion project that they wanted to code, but they don't know how to make that into a reality. So just know that whichever of these, there's opportunities for you to create those portfolios, because you need them in order for you to attract whichever dream company you wanted to work for eventually. Oftentimes during these events, we also get asked about the other programs that we have. So let's just switch gears for a little bit here. I wanted to walk you through about the other programs. So in the next slide, you're going to see the cybersecurity program that we have, the data science as well. And these are just an overview. Just like in our software development program, we have curated our programs or curriculum for these two with learning science to it. So that means we've got learning scientists who are collaborating with instructors on a weekly basis to make sure that the curriculum's up to date, and at the same time, they're easier to digest and empowers the student to learn how to learn. So if you wanted to know what's our unique approach in teaching cybersecurity and data science as well, we've got separate open houses for these two that we'll share to you guys later on. But yeah, for now, let's talk about how you can fund a tuition. It's a significant investment that you're making if you're going to the software development program, right? So if we jump into the next slide, please, you guys will see the payment options here, and then we'll also talk about some scholarship options and later on. So if you're one of those who's familiar with Mia Share, so you can consider doing that. It's going to be a monthly payment plan with no interest on all monthly plans, and you can actually customize them. And there's no credit check required for Mia Share. You can also consider applying for loans. So there's the Climb Credit Loan. You can borrow potentially up to 100% of the full tuition cost. And you can usually start your repayment 3 months after you graduated. And for this one, obviously, it's subject for credit approval. Regardless of which payment option you take, there is at least $99 deposit requirement for that. And also in the next slide, just a couple of friendly reminders. If you are doing the loan application, please know that there is about 5 to 7 business days processing times. And in the next slide, you're going to see as well some of the documents that he will need to complete and submit. We have our admissions team that you can talk to. They're happy to walk you through about the nitty-gritty about so that you can submit your application and hopefully it will be green lighted. Of course, once you're speaking with our admissions team, you can consult with them as well about the scholarship options that we have, because we have tons of them here. So as you can see in the next slide, we have, for example, Kickstart Fund. So this is for people who's earning 40,000 and below right now. Once you got approved for this, we can provide you up to $1,500. We also have career reinvention. This is for seasoned professionals wanting to make that pivot into this career path. We also have Women in Tech. This is actually my favorite scholarship. We also have Diversity in Tech. If you're a veteran, we've got military heroes. You might be wondering, can I apply for multiple scholarships? Yes, you can. Simply talk to the admissions about the process for that. We can only award you for one though, so pick whichever ones are really going to close to your heart, something that's really resonating to you, and talk to our admissions to process your scholarship applications. Fun fact for you guys, to date, we have already provided more than $19 million worth of scholarships over the years, and we're still looking for more incoming ninjas. I don't think a lot of boot camps can say that kind of amount in terms of scholarship funds. So we're really dedicated and diversifying people or professionals wanting to work into the tech field as so yeah, reach out to the admissions about that. And also in the next slide, I wanted to just quickly highlight about our admissions process. I think this is very important to know that we do not have any technical exams or technical interviews during our enrollment process, because we really believe that anyone can learn how to code. We're confident with how we built the curriculum, and here we welcome people of different background, different learning styles. So what we value in here is making sure that this is aligned to your career goals and that you can put in the time for our online bootcamp. So as you can see, it's a straightforward enrollment process. First, You just have to submit a form, fill that out, of course. And then after that, you'll need to book a non-technical interview with one of our admission specialists. Once you're accepted, you can proceed to the final step, and that is to submit a deposit of at least $99 for you to reserve your seat for the cohort that you want. We actually have multiple cohorts in here with different start dates. So as easy as that for the admissions process. So moving on to the next slide, if you are curious about some classes that you can attend right now, we definitely have a lot of workshops with no costs involved that you can check out. So you can hang out with other instructors that we have and other attendees there. So you get a glimpse of what our learning science are like in when we teach things. It's not just what we teach here, it's how we teach things. So you can attend, like, for example, we've got Intro to Web Development. This is where you can learn the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We'll also play a little game there. Another workshop, Intro to Python. This is also another gamified workshop. All of our workshops in here are live. So feel free to hang out with us on those events. We also have How to Pick a Program. This is a career service workshop. So you get to meet some other career service managers, learn some strategies and how you can use maybe some of your previous background and how you can jump into becoming maybe a data scientist, cybersecurity professional, or software developer. I mean, it's a big decision that you guys are making, so it's important that you get different insights on how it's like working on those fields. So How to Pick a Program is going to be very helpful for you guys for that. All right, let's move on to the next slide. I wanted to share with you a couple of more things that you can take advantage. So we've built this algorithm app where you can see some video walkthroughs in it, some practice lessons. Challenge yourself, check them out. There are tons of tips and tricks that you can learn there. We also have a demo for our Learn platform. So again, this is our learning management system. I don't know about you, but when I'm learning something brand new and it's very technical and it's so many things in short span of time, I want to make sure that it's organized and have a structured way of learning that. So that's a good thing about the Learn platform, because you'd be able to know where to start, where to go next. It's updated and you're being laser focused because it's organized. So there are many unique functionalities on that tool, and we're going to walk you through about that. You're going to see that live in action through that 30-minute demo as well. So feel free to also hang out with us in that event. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So as promised, this is now the voucher code. So please take a screenshot of this and remember to mention this to the admissions that you'll be speaking with so that they know that you're eligible for that discount. You can stack this with a scholarship that you might be awarded for. We've also shared the links in the chat for taking advantage of the workshops, the tools, the resources there, and how you can reach out as well with the admissions. So feel free to save those links in the chat. And we have different cohort start dates here. So choose whichever is going to be doable for you. Just be mindful of the enrollment deadline that we have. So for example, for the part-time cohort, that will be starting the 9th of October, and the enrollment will be closing the 4th of October. For the full-time, that is starting the 23rd of October, and the enrollment will be closing on the 18th of October. We do have other cohort start dates every month, so just check them out by consulting with our admission, so you can check which is going to work with your timeline. So yeah, let's jump into the next slide. Two more things before we do our Q&A. So these are the dates for the other workshops, the other open houses that we have. Again, you will be able to see them in the links that we've shared in the chat as well. We have our cybersecurity and data science open houses. And finally, in the last slide, so hopefully you guys have that idea about how we help our students here become self-sufficient developers. We're helping you become better problem solvers, well-rounded developers. So we'll be able to learn how to learn, which is one of the critical skills that you'll need as a software engineer out there, regardless of which industry you're going to dabble into. And it's also uncommon to get that lifetime career services from a tech bootcamp company, but for Coding Dojo, we have that set up because we want to make sure that even though you're always out there working as a software developer, there will be times that you wanted to maximize opportunities within that company, or maybe dabble into a different industry. So you need those seasoned professionals that you can tap into for insights and for guidance. And of course, the community that you'll be part of here at Coding Dojo. So again, we're gonna do the Q&A. I'm seeing a lot of questions that came through, so we're gonna take them one by one. Let's see here. Okay, I think we've answered this question from Tyler earlier. Rodnell was asking, how does the full-time start with 3 stacks? And if you decide on part-time accelerated and pick 2 stacks, how long does it take then? Okay, we'll pretty much cover this one, but we can maybe go on that slide so that Rodnell can see that that page. So we're gonna jump into that right now so that you can see the timeline, the weekly commitments for the hours.
For full-time. For full-time?
For all 3 options. And while we're going to that, we can also take this question right here about okay, maybe Tiara can share some insights on this one. Someone was saying, why do you think some people can't find jobs after this boot camp?
Good question, and I'm glad you asked, and I appreciate your transparency. So, twofold. I think that when they hear boot camp, they get it, but they don't get it until they're immersed in it. And so, since the boot camp is quick and we're compiling, I would say 4 years of knowledge into 4 months, there is some more work that needs to be done after you leave the boot camp. For example, enforcing the fact that you know your data structures and your algos, building out your projects more, aligning with different networks and things like that. And sometimes people join the boot camp and then when they leave, they don't have the time to do all of that because they were in the middle of a career transition, or they couldn't stop working, or they couldn't focus in order to do that. So I think that's one reason. And then also I feel like due to the job market, a lot of people kind of started during COVID, and everybody's like, yes, I want to do technology. I want to do technology. And I think that the market is over exhausted, but don't be fooled. I see students getting placed every day, finding their own way and things like that. So it's possible, but it takes hard work, it takes tenacity, and it takes commitment. It's not something that you can just come and grab and then think you're going to get a job the next day. You got to do some more work. And I think that's what separates the ninjas from the senseis. What you got to say about that, Tyler?
I think that's absolutely right. It takes work and persistence and dedication. These programs, I think, are truly phenomenal. They're laid out well, but it does take that commitment.
So I hope that answered your question.
If there are more follow-up questions, please let us know. But yeah, let's jump into the next question here. Thanks, Tiara, Tyler. This one, okay, we've answered this. Is it better to learn quickly bootcamp course before actually starting? Okay, well, I think it would be helpful for you if you attend a workshop, because you get a sneak peek of what our classes are like, and these workshops have no cost involved, so you can definitely just sign up and attend those classes, and those are live events, so you can really ask questions live, engage with the instructor and the attendees as well. So you're going to see those workshops in the links that we've shared in the chat. Next question here, do you help students after graduation connect with companies to find work? So I wanted to just highlight that besides the lifetime career services that Tiara mentioned, we also have partnership team here at Coding Dojo, which means that for all of our graduates in here, they will get monthly communications from our company partners, recruiting agency partners, for certain job opportunities that are targeting Coding Dojo alumni. And yeah, so if you wanted to ask further, just let us know. let's see, in the accelerated curriculum, are you able to pick another stack in place of Python? So, so if we can jump into the page 34, Tyler, please, so that you guys can see the differences across those three options. So for the accelerated, you have the freedom to um, to choose those stacks, right? If you're really leaning towards the Python, it's gonna be in the part-time flex. Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. So what is like for the part-time accelerated in terms of the Python stack? Is that's for the flex, right?
For the flex, part-time accelerated stack. What do you mean?
Like the Python stack is only for the flex option as of the moment.
Right. For flex, you only do get that Python stack. You're not going to get the JavaScript stack or the C# or Java stack.
And then if they take the accelerated option,
they should be able to be a little bit more flexible. There is a slide over here where you can then add on the stacks that you are.
Yeah, you get to learn Python there as one of your stacks. And again, if you wanted to just kick it off with just one stack and then add one or two more, then you have the freedom to do so for the accelerated option. So
yeah, right here.
Good question for that. Thanks for asking. Do we need to put down payment before starting class? Yes, there is a deposit of at least $99 for you to reserve your seat for the cohort that you want. Let's see. Feel free to just have a one-on-one consultation with our admissions here. There actually is more than just admissions people. You can ask them about, share with them your career goals, ask them which is more suitable for you guys, because I know there are a lot of options here in our boot camp. So just feel free to reach out to them. So for the flex, Manasi, this is a good question. So you've seen it there in the option. It's yes, there's more flexibility and less hours commitment per week, but it's longer timeline, right? So you've seen it, and you get to learn those. The Python is going to be your stack. There's a lot of algorithm sessions because that's going to be very important, and then programming basics and web fundamentals will be your starting points before those. So yeah. All right, love this other question here about the daily schedule. Tyler actually shared this earlier, but Tyler, do you want to enlighten us once more for this one?
So for the daily schedule, there are these lecture hours on Tuesday and Thursday that are 1 hour in length. I do believe that they're recorded, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never taught the part-time program, but I do believe that you are not required to attend. That's still the case?
Oh, I love this. Thanks, Tyler. There's another question here that came through from Margarita. And do you give additional tips to learn after boot camps and libraries? Because to actually find work, it's probably will be useful to learn more. Tyler or Tiara, do you guys want to share anything on this one, or I can chime in as well?
Can you repeat the question for me?
It's in the Q&A box. So Margarita was asking, do you give additional tips on what to learn after boot camp? Because yeah.
Yes, we do. We have a curated document that we use to help you navigate that has a lot of useful resources to help you continue your project, help you identify job boards. We also have a graduation plan to help you create a good job search strategy. And then we also offer office hours. So you can always just come in and ask any question you want to, grab your lunch and things like that to kind of help.
Awesome. Yeah, and what I love about the community that we have in here is you can always reach out to any of the alumni or the members of in our Discord channels. So, and that's going to come in handy when, you wanted to just hear other perspective or bounce ideas of each other, or maybe just you know, help you overcome imposter syndrome when you hear how someone got a job. And those sort of things are definitely helpful for students in here when they're already at the stage wherein they're finding jobs, right? There's another question here. Is the flex program self-paced, instructor-based class? So it's not self-paced 100% because there will be some live lecture days for that. But of course there are more time for you to do self-study. So it's a combination of both. And then some activities that we sprinkle around to make sure that, you still have that systemized way of learning things. So that's the flex program. And you're seeing right now up on the screen the details for that. So feel free to ask anything else if you need more clarity on something else. But let's move on to the next question here. Is it possible to do some networking while you're studying? Tiara, do you want to take that one or do you want me
Uh, you can go first.
to? So I do believe that you guys have like networking or some events that you set up in career services wherein you bring in like different like thought
We have
leaders.
Tech Talks. Thank you. We have Tech Talks that's designed for that. And then also we have a Dojo alumni community on LinkedIn, which is you can connect with sometimes before you graduate. And then the other thing is we do a lot of helping you understand what is networking, because networking is still going in a room with box wine and drinking and talking, but it's also, hey, when I'm at Thanksgiving dinner, letting my family know that, hey, I'm about to graduate from a boot camp. So if any of you know someone that might have a job or maybe have a small business that need me to do a web development project for, let me know. So and then also just being in class is networking, because you never know who you're sitting next to. So really reframing and helping you to renovate your thinking of what networking looks like is also a part of the program as well.
That is 100% true. Let's see. I'm just moving on to just typing in some answers here to some other questions. About the Discord channel link, you'll be able to have that once you have enrolled and submitted your deposit. You'll be able to see them. I encourage you guys to, for now, since you're probably doing your research, to also just research on LinkedIn, check out some of our alumni, maybe just check out what are the job opportunities currently in your area for software developers, the salary that they're getting, what job titles, because there are more than 50 different job titles for people who know how to code, those sort of things. And on top of that, to attend the workshops that we have in here as well. So you get to see some other ninjas and other members of Coding Dojo here as well. So, all right. I am not seeing any other questions. Again, if you wanted to check the time of our workshops, it's on those links that we've shared in the chat. We enjoyed your questions, guys. Those are amazing. You guys are awesome for hanging out with us today. Hopefully we can see you all in Dojo Hall or in our online boot camp. Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for saying that. Yeah. William, thanks as well. So thank you all so much for being here, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.